I am in that second seed, getting closer and closer to Jordan with every passing game. I'm playing Monster I Beats here. He's running with 2 point guards, D. Rose, Gary Payton. Also has Karl Malone. So he's got a couple legends on his team. But the topic of this video is Greg Oden signing with the Miami Heat as KD goes up for the alley-oop and lays it in. What are you doing? And Johnson's trolling. So we're off to a good start early. But yes, the topic of this video is Greg Oden signs with the Miami Heat. Now, is that too big of a deal? I mean, Greg Oden, the former #1 pick, hasn't been in the league for 4 years. So, I mean, is it that big of a deal, you ask? And I don't know if it is, but the defending champion Miami Heat signed him to a league minimum contract. I don't know how many years, but since it's the Miami Heat and since it's the former #1 pick, it has made headlines. It has been talked about a fair amount, so I figured that why not talk about it in this video and kind of give you my reaction to it. Now, like I said, he signed for the league minimum, which if you're the Miami Heat, why not give this guy a chance? I mean, he was the former #1 pick. He's got a ton of potential, especially for a big man. He was picked ahead of Kevin Durant, which I'll kind of talk about that later, but he is a ton of potential, a very skilled big man. The only problem is he can't stay healthy, and I guess that is a big problem. But if he does indeed play with the Miami Heat, if he does indeed stay healthy, I don't think he's going to be asked to do too much. Because, I mean, the Miami Heat, the former NBA champs, they just need an inside presence. So I'm thinking, if anything, he plays 10 to 15 minutes a game, kind of gives them an inside presence. And if he stays healthy, he could do pretty well for them. But like I said, that's a big if. He's been injured his whole career, it seemed. Even at Ohio State, he had injury problems. But like I said, he is very talented. And I remember when he was at Ohio State, I didn't get to watch him too much in the NBA, but I watched a lot of his games at Ohio State. And he is a very skilled big man. He can finish with both hands. He can use both hands. He's not a great outside. I mean, he's not an outside shooter, but he's a very dominant big man. And that's why he was picked #1. He was picked over KD because big men are harder to come by than small forwards. And he was seen as being, I want to say he was seen as being the next Dwight Howard. I mean, you guys can give your opinion on that, but that's kind of how I saw him. That's kind of what people saw in him, is he was the next dominant big man to enter the league. Now, I know Portland gets ripped all the time for taking him over KD, and like I said, hindsight is 20/20. It looks like a terrible pick now, but being that Oden was a big man, a center that could possibly be the most dominant center in the league, I think that was the right pick. But like I said, he got injured, and that's that. Now, getting back to the actual signing, I think it's a low risk, low reward for the Miami Heat. I mean, maybe not low reward. If he does stay healthy, it could be a pretty good signing, but at worst, he just gets cut. I mean, it's the league minimum salary. Being a huge T-Wolves fan myself, I'm going to kind of relate this signing to the Brandon Roy signing. I mean, both of those guys, both Roy and Oden, had a huge history of injury, and I'm thinking there's a good chance the same thing happens to Oden as it did to Roy. He might play a couple games, but in the end, his injuries are going to get the best of him. I mean, they have his whole career, and at least with the Miami Heat, they signed him for the league minimum. I think the T-Wolves signed Brandon Roy to a 2-year, $10 million contract, which is terrible. David Kahn, what were you thinking with that one? I mean, I like the signing and whatnot, but $10 million for a player that hasn't been in the league a couple years and has had a chronic knee issue his whole career, what are you thinking? But I will give props to the Miami Heat. They signed a former #1 pick to a league minimum contract, and he fills a position they need. So, I mean, if he doesn't help them, if he stays injured, great. It doesn't really matter to them, but if he does help them out, it looks like a pretty good signing. Now, let me know what you guys think about this signing. And to be honest, I don't think it makes that big of a difference, because even if he doesn't play, I think the Heat are still favorites to win the NBA championship for next year. Even though I hate the Heat, they are going to be the favorites. I mean, they are until somebody knocks them off their pedestal. And I honestly don't think Greg Oden is going to change that one way or another. But let me know if you think he's going to be a factor next year in the comments section. I'll definitely get back to you, give you my opinion. And maybe we can start some kind of discussion about it, because I know there are probably some people that are saying, yo, he is only 25 and he's still got a lot of potential, but guys, he's been injured his whole career, and kind of like the Brandon Roy situation, you know, he could possibly be a decent player, but he's not going to be that dominant big man that he once had the potential to be. Anyway, we are into this fourth quarter, and I am blowing this guy out. A rare blowout, especially in the second seed. I mean, I haven't blown anybody out, and it seems like it's been games. It's been seeds since I've blown somebody out. And yeah, I've just been taking this guy to town, and look at this play. He deflects it into the backcourt, but I still get the dunk with magic. And it's just, things are going my way this game, which is always nice. It's always nice to have a blowout game where you can kind of relax. You don't have to be up in your seat. And he misses the dunk there. That's just how it was going for him, and he quits. So I get the win. Another game advanced in that second seed. Thanks for watching, guys, and like I said, let me know what you think about the Greg Oden signing.